Welcome back. My name is Mohan Abubakar Siddiq, Assistant Professor at Putokali Science and Technology University, Bangladesh. Today, we'll discuss about the National Land Use Policy of Bangladesh, which was approved in 2001. Bangladesh is an agricultural country. Agriculture is the source of one third of the national income of this country and the livelihood of two-thirds of the people. Land is the basic natural resource that is the source of all the daily necessities of human life, industrial products, consumer goods, health care materials, etc. The amount of per capita land is decreasing day by day due to increasing population. With economic progress, the trend of urbanization is increasing, industrial development is taking place, roads, hospitals, and educational institutions are constantly expanding as a result of which the amount of agricultural land is gradually shrinking. Objectives of National Land Use Policy. There are 9 objectives in National Land Use Policy. First objective is to resist the current trend of alarming decline in the total amount of used agricultural land to produce adequate food for a growing population. This objective has several key aspects. First one is agricultural land must be used for agriculture as much as possible. No physical change of land can be done without the permission of the concerned authority. Agricultural land fragmentation system should be limited to reasonable amount. Land cannot be acquired for construction of roads other than natural highway, regional roads, district to Upazila, Upazila to Upazila connecting roads only. In cases where acquisition is essential, housing and fertile agricultural land should be avoided as much as possible. Construction of inter-village or inter-village roads in rural areas should be in planned manner. To ensure secure movement of transport, service lanes should be built on both sides of the main road for pedestrian and 10 to 20 feet wide space should be allotted for afforestation on both sides for the development and beautification of the environment. Land used for tea gardens, rubber gardens, etc. should be identified. Tea garden land is not to be used in other purpose in any consideration. Second objective of National Land Use Policy is to control rationally the unplanned expansion of residential area. The establishment of industry and the marketing process through introducing zoning system for ensuring optimal use of land according to physical differences in the different regions of the country. This objective further includes several key aspects including all city corporation and municipalities and in other cases the concerned upazilas will identify land use zones in their respective areas. The revenue officer will provide necessary assistance in preparing the zoning map. Once the zoning map has been approved by the concerned authority, it cannot be changed except in specific areas and conditions. The country will have a zoning law. Construction of model houses and planned residential units of rural areas should be encouraged. New industries, factories have to set up in certain zones. If industries can build inside the basic areas, then any other small and cottage industry in 10-kilometer radius of basic is to be discouraged. Third objective of National Land Use Policy is to ensure optimal utilization of naturally originated shoreline in the river, haor or ocean basin for the rehabilitation of landless people. For this, existing reservoirs must be kept open and cannot be filled. In the case of small privately owned ponds, the responsibility will be on the owner, and on the large reservoirs such as river, canal, haor, bower and bills, the responsibility will be vested in the people and the government. Regular renovation and re-excavation of reservoirs requires achieving this target. Fifth objective is to conserve future potential land, especially government trust lands for various developmental activities. Fifth objective is to make the best use of land for poverty alleviation and increase employment, and to play supportive role in preventing the increase in the number of landless people in our country. Sixth objective of the National Land Use Policy is to ensure that land use is compatible with the natural environment. Seventh objective is to conserve natural forest, prevent river erosion and hill cutting. Key aspects of this objective, for example, forest declared by the Ministry of Forest and Environment will be identified as forest land. Initiative should be taken to conserve, maintain, and expand the existing forest land. Coastal areas need to be effectively green forested. Social forestry needs to be encouraged. The flood control embankment will be used as road as far as possible. Sustainable trees should be planted in the dam in a planned way. The excavated cavity for the construction of the dam should be used as reservoir for fish culture and poultry rearing. The required soil for constructing a flood control dam should be arranged by re-excavating the field reservoir in the vicinity without creating new reservoir as much as possible. It is necessary to ensure that the construction of dam does not cause any further waterlogging. Finally, Chittagong Hill Tract districts will be included in survey activities. The eighth objective of National Land Use Policy is to prevent land pollution. For this, proper arrangement and procedure for disposal of industrial waste should be strictly followed so that no harm is done to the land or to the environment. Ninth objective and the final objective is to ensure the use of a small amount of land by constructing multi-story buildings for government and non-government organizations. In addition, community people should be encouraged in urban and rural areas for constructing such multi-story buildings. A National Land Use Committee headed by the Honorable Prime Minister will be constituted for the purpose of implementation, monitoring, and giving necessary direction to the National Land Use Policy. Further, a Land Use Implementation Committee will be formed to assist the National Land Use Committee. Minister of the Ministry of Land will be acted as the convener of this implementation committee, and Secretary of that ministry will be acted as the member secretary. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you for watching this video.